Richard in Northridge, California writes to me, and he says, should the cost of subwoofers be considered part of the overall speaker budget? For example, if I want to spend $10,000 on a hi-fi system and 50% of that on the speakers, would that $5,000 include the subwoofer cost or no? Thanks. I would say yes. Yes, it should. And I am a big advocate of spending the most of your budget on speakers. And that goes in direct opposition to a lot of people. Go figure. Paul McGowan in direct opposition to people. Well, what are you going to do? In my experience, the loudspeaker is the single most difficult piece of the equation to get right. It has the worst frequency response all over the map relative to a straight line for an amplifier. It's the hardest to design and get right. There's just any number of reasons, and at the end of the day, everything you hear goes through that loudspeaker. And I just can't imagine, even though I'm an now we do make speakers, but for the last 40-something years, we have not made speakers. And I have said this consistently, spend the money on speakers. Electronics second. Okay, you can argue with me all you want, but that's my opinion. And subwoofers augment speakers, okay? So take a pair of FR30s or the new FR20 that will be coming out, the little brother of the FR30 loudspeaker that we make. They have bass that extends down into the 20s. For most people, that'll be way, way over the top in terms of bass. You're going to get everything you ever wanted. The problem we have is that while the speaker may be producing that bass, you may not be hearing that bass in your listening position. So one of the things we do in the Audiophile's Guide, the loudspeaker, which is the latest book that I've published, we help you figure out how to get the best place for your listening position and your speakers to get the best bass response for a given pair of speakers. And we can certainly make great inroads, but at the end of the day, where you sit is unlikely to be the very best place in the room for bass. It's just the way rooms are. If you're lucky, great. But most of us, we ain't that lucky. And so it behooves us, when we're building a state-of-the-art sound system, to think about getting a subwoofer to augment the speaker system. That's all you're doing. And it's not that the speakers can't produce the bass, most can't, but ours do. And I still recommend a subwoofer. And that's because you can place the sub somewhere in the room to where it works perfectly to where you're sitting. Now, if you set it up right, your main speakers sound as if they have bass, all through the magic of moving the subwoofers very near to you, somewhere else in the room, that the bass is perfect to where you're sitting. And that is the complete loudspeaker system. From there, you're going to buy electronics to power it. And you've budgeted X amount for that. So yes, I would include subwoofers in the loudspeaker budget. Okay? Thanks for the question. I'll talk to you later.